All right, everybody. Welcome to the first week of the Coach Rock the Basics. I'm excited that you guys are here. So first of all, welcome to the team. I'm glad that you guys have decided to join us. We're really in an exciting time right now. The team is growing. The network is growing. The company's coming out with some amazing products and some amazing deals as far as new programs and things that people are excited about. So I just want to welcome you to Beachbody Coaching. I don't know what this is to you or why you said yes. Some of you guys kind of shared in the team page, your reasons behind becoming a coach. And many of you sounded a lot like me and a lot like the other coaches that have been around for a while. And the fact that you believe in, fighting to live a healthier life. You want to be an advocate for health and wellness in a place that really needs it. And you've decided to partner with one of the best companies in the whole world that provides some of the best products in the whole world that many of us have used. I know I used it myself. So I do want to share a little bit about me. First of all, I have spent the last month being sick. So if I start coughing during these calls, these are the first live calls I've done in a month because of this cough that I have. So if I start coughing, please forgive me. That's the first thing. The second thing is I just want to share a little bit about me because not all of you know me. In fact, the majority of you don't. You guys were referred into this group by a coach that sponsored you or a coach that enrolled you. And they said, why don't you go into our team basics and let Tommy kind of teach you a little bit. And so I want to thank them for their trust in me. And I want to tell you a little bit about me so that you kind of know who you're working with here. So I started with Beachbody about 8 years ago. And I had spent 20 years of my life morbidly obese and kind of depressed. And at the time I was doing insurance. And, I was doing insurance. I was doing Rotary Club. I was doing high school football. I coach high school football. And, I was probably making 50, 60 grand a year. So just picture this. I was like an extremely big fat guy that was doing insurance, that was living paycheck to paycheck with the money that I was making. In fact, I had more debt than I had income, right? Many of you can probably relate to that. I did P90X for about five months. I lost like 50 or 60 pounds and found out about this coaching thing and found out that I could get paid for helping other people. And when I first signed up to be a coach, when I was you guys, when I was brand new, I just figured if I could make a couple $100 and help a few buddies and pay for my fitness habit, right, and make enough money to pay for my shakes and pay for my programs, that would be plenty, right? How many of you are kind of there, like at the beginning of this thing, you're kind of like, yeah, if I can help a few people, make a few extra bucks, that'd be freaking awesome, right? So that's where I was 8 years ago. In fact, I spent the first 2 years being a coach just kind of doing that. It's not like I took off like a rocket ship when it came to Beachbody Coaching. I was still heavily focused on my own weight loss because I had 120 pounds to lose, and I did lose 120 pounds. And I became a 50,000 winner in the Beachbody Challenge. How many of you know that we have a challenge and a contest for the people that do transformations where they can win money, right? And they can win like $500 or $1,000 or $100,000. Well, I happened to get second place in 2009. So this is a few years ago. I got second place, won 50 grand. And then I started thinking about how drastically Beachbody had changed my life, and I wanted to take a more serious approach to coaching. And so I really dug in, made the top 10 a couple times in the network, got the leadership award for the entire network a few years ago. And over time, I mean, it's changed my life, not just physically, but financially. My wife and I, we make a mid-six-figure income, which is something I never thought was possible. And I know for some of you, that kind of sounds mind-blowing, like mid-six figures. Like, I mean, to put that in perspective, that's several $1,000s a week doing this, just working from home, and working, the 15, 20 hours a week, working with a team of people. And all that. So we try to make it easier for our coaches because we understand that the majority of our coaches are not full-time. The majority of people are doing this part-time, kind of on the side, right? And so maybe you don't have time to do all the training. And so we offer to you guys the ability to plug your people into these trainings and let us help you help them. Let us spend the time with them and help them get them up to speed. Does that make sense? So that's why your coach is utilizing us. It's kind of a team effort here, right? They find people. And then we, the full-timers, we kind of help them get up to speed. And then you guys can just be friends and kind of go, kick butt together. So I don't tell you all that stuff about me to impress you, but more just to impress upon you the fact that your decision to become a Beachbody coach, while right now might just be this little like on the side thing that you're hoping to make a couple $100 a month. If you stick around and you stay course, you never know what it could turn into for you. I can tell you that we've literally seen thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of lives be impacted by our team specifically, not just by the network, but just by our team. I mean, just thousands of testimonials of people who have lost weight, of people who have made money, of people who have overcome depression, of people who have overcome addiction, of people who have saved marriages. And that's all part, all part of what we do in Beachbody is really to work on the whole person, physically, financially, emotionally, and all of that. So with that said, that's enough about me. That's enough about my thoughts. I don't know what this is to you, but here's the deal. We're going to spend the next 30 days together. Okay. You guys have said yes. Not only did you say yes to coaching, but you said yes to being part of this group, which tells me that you do have a sincere interest in doing something with this. Maybe you're not sure what level of something, right? So whether that's, hey, I want to help a few people, or whether you're like, no, I want to build a huge freaking business out of this. The one thing that I'm going to tell you is you started a real business for a very, very small investment. I mean, under $200 to start a business and partner with a company that does $1 billion of revenue every year. If you were going to start any other business in the world, it would cost you way more than $200 to start it, right? And you wouldn't be getting a program with it, and you wouldn't be getting Shakeology with it, and you wouldn't be getting free training with it. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is don't undervalue what this is. It's really easy to just sit here and think, well, yeah, I got a challenge pack and I got this coach thing on my hands, okay? And $140 to $200 of your investment where you got a program it's a forgettable amount of money, to be honest with you. I mean, I've wasted more than that on a weekend that I don't remember. How many of you have done that, where you just blew more than $100 on a shopping trip and the crap is just sitting in your closet, right? And sitting in your closet and the tags are still on it, and you just forget about the fact that you spent it. Well, don't let this coaching thing turn into that, because it can be life altering and it can be life changing. You started a business where you partnered with a company, right, that does all of the name brand marketing. They do all of the packaging. They do all of the production. They do all of the warehousing. They do all of the shipping. They do all of the collection of money from the people. And all we have to do is be advocates for that company and recommend their stuff and sign them up. And when we do that, the company pays us for it. How many of you feel like that's a pretty fair deal, right? I remember thinking about starting businesses all along the way. In fact, I started a t-shirt business when I was in college, and I had to go get the t-shirts, and I had to find the printer, right? And I had to make sure that I had the inventory right. And then I would always end up with extras of one size and not enough of another size, because I misjudged, the sizes that people would want, right? And so honestly, I probably spent like $2,000 just getting t-shirts to get started, to go sell t-shirts for $10 a piece and make $3 on a t-shirt when I was in college, right? So the fact that we're partnered with a worldwide known company that does business internationally in the US and Canada, and that we don't have to deal with what most businesses do is a remarkable thing, all right? So don't undervalue. I mean, I want you to think about something. If you were going to start a franchise with any company, right? If you were going to start a Chipotle franchise, let's say you're going to get in the restaurant business and you were going to start a Chipotle franchise. Here's my question to you. How much do you think that franchise would cost? I think it's like $350,000, right? For you to start a Chipotle franchise, okay? My question to you is this: if you had put $350,000 into starting a Chipotle franchise, how hard would you work to make sure you don't lose your ass and lose that money, right? Does that make sense? So part of the reason that people don't find immediate great success with Beachbody is they treat it like it's a $140 business. How would you treat this if you actually put $300,000 of your own money in, or took out a loan for $300,000, right? Would you show up to the trainings? Would you make sure to follow the directions, right? Would you be checking in every day? So, and listen, this was not even on the agenda. I just felt like this needed to be said, because I think that starting out, and maybe this scares some of you. Maybe you're like, man, this guy's way too serious for me. I just want to make a couple $100 and help a couple people. I want you to realize the gravity of what you have here. And what you have here is the ability to impact lives in a drastic way. And it's worth way more than the $140 that it costs you to get on board with us. Does that make sense? Like, you're partnering with the #1 company in fitness in the entire world. and they give you the products, they give you the programs, and they do all that stuff. So in this group, we're going to spend 30 days together, okay? And we're going to be talking about the basics of what we do. How many of you, when you started out in whatever career that you're in, how many of you went to school for a while to learn about what you do, right? You went and got a degree, or you went and got some kind of an associate's, or you went and studied the thing that you now do. How many of you did that, where you put some time into learning before you started doing, right? How many of you, when then you first showed up on the job, the first day and the first week and the first month, you weren't very good at it still, like you still had things to learn, right? Does that make sense? Well, don't expect to be great at Beachbody coaching in the first month. It's not going to happen. Does that make sense? Because this is something brand new to you. And so you need to spend some time learning to do what we do. All right? And that's what you're doing in this group. You're spending some time learning to do what we do. And you're not going to be perfect. So I don't want you to feel like if you don't go out and have a great first month or first 2 months to throw in the towel. In fact, my first month I made $50, and I made that money from signing up my wife. Right? So I signed up my wife. That was the first thing I did. I signed up my wife as a coach. I got $50 back from that sign up. That's all I made the first 6 weeks that I was a coach. I signed nobody else up the first 6 weeks. Okay. Luckily, I didn't quit. Luckily, I didn't think to throw in the towel. Luckily, I stayed the course, because now it's completely changed our life. So here's what you can expect from this group. Okay. Is this, we're going to teach you the basics. So write this down, master the basics and do them over and over again. Okay, it's just like in the game of basketball. The team that passes and dribbles and hits their free throws and feeds the paint is going to win, right? The ones that do the basic things. That's why they practice the basic fundamentals over and over again. I coach high school football, and I can tell you that we work on the blocking, tackling, catching every day. We do that every single day, and the team that blocks the best and tackles the best and catches the best is going to win the game, period. Everybody understand that? And so don't overcomplicate this thing. Learn the basics, and we're going to teach you that through the course of this 30 days. Learn the basics and just learn to do them month after month, and just do the same things month after month after month, and teach other people how to do that too. So you're going to have daily assignments. Now, those assignments, most of you have already done the first couple of them. They're just little assignments in that Facebook page that are going to take like 3 minutes a day. Some people go in and do them every day. Some people might check in a couple times a week and do a few of them at a time, right? And knock them out at a time. That's up to you. Understand something. I'm not going to hunt you down. You guys you're big boys and girls. This is your business. You decided to do this. I'm not going to micromanage you. We're going to put the information out there. It's up to you if you want to learn it. If you have questions, then you need to ask. We'll gladly help you with that. Everybody understand that. But the daily assignments are there. So there's a lot of things in those daily assignments. Again, if you're checking on them, you're good. If you don't check on them, you're going to miss out on some stuff. We're going to do these weekly meetings. Okay, so every week we're going to get together. We're going to cover some topics. We're going to rehash some of the things that were covered in the daily assignments and kind of put them into words for you guys and discuss those. Everybody understand that? So, we use Zoom. It's best, and listen, the whole company uses Zoom. Everybody in the network uses Zoom now. And so there are these video meetings, and we can fit 100 of you on there. You get more out of it if you actually have the video on. That way you can see face-to-face interaction, and you can see, people versus just dialing in. So if you dialed in tonight, I appreciate you being here. See if you can get this app downloaded for Zoom and get on by video in the future. So we will also host weekly webinars. So right now we offer webinars every Wednesday. So write this down, okay? The weekly team webinar is every Wednesday at noon and 9 p.m. Eastern, okay? In that webinar, we talk about everything Beachbody. And so we present to your friends and to your people. How many of you would like to just be able to do that, where you just invite people to check out this webinar and let us do the presentation, and then all you got to do is invite them to the webinar and follow up with them? Does that make sense? Okay. And we can help you with ways to invite and do all those things. I want to give you the picture of this, right? I mean, for you to make, think about from a business standpoint, most businesses take 5 years to break even. Okay. With what you put into it versus when you're actually making money above and beyond that. Does that make sense? So it takes you 5 years to pay off the start of that business and then actually make a profit. Okay, that's why a lot of people fail in business in the first 5 years. In this business, you could break even this week. If you had 3 people, let's say that you got 3 people to that webinar and they all signed up on a challenge pack, you're going to make enough money to pay for the pack that you bought. Does that make sense? So that's a difference in this business. Is you can break even really fast. Okay. So those weekly webinars are going to be every Wednesday, like clockwork. Okay. We'll also provide a recording to you guys. So if you got people that might miss it, then you guys can, just follow up with them and have them watch the recording of it. All right. Sound fair? So you're going to have a chance every week while you're in this group to get people to a webinar if that's the route you want to go. I suggest doing that. That way you don't feel stuck like you got to explain everything. All you got to do is say, yeah, go to the webinar, check it out. If you think it's for you, great. And then follow up with them. All right. Here's the things that I would look for if I were you guys. So during this thing, I want to kind of whittle it down. And so you guys know, like, here's some primary tips and things that you need to be looking for. These are the basics that you need to master. Okay. Is this number one, write this down, 3 vital behaviors. Okay. These are the 3 things that we got to be doing every day and every week as coaches. Okay. Number 1, the first vital behavior is this: being a product of the product, using the products, right? You're more likely to recommend, things that you use. I mean, how many of you agree that it would be hard to recommend a movie that you've never seen, right? How many of you think it would be hard to recommend a restaurant that you've never eaten at? Okay. So that's exactly why we need to be a product of the product. Because we're more likely to be talking about, be excited about, and recommending things that we use. Our number 1 product as far as coaching goes is Shakeology. So I need to have a heart-to-heart with you guys because some of you are like all about Shakeology and some of you aren't quite on board with it yet, all right? I was not on board with it when it first came out. I had already lost my 120 pounds when they first came out with it 5 or 6 years ago, and I thought it was expensive, right? And I was like, screw that, I'm not paying 120 freaking bucks for a shake. That was my reaction when it first came out, all right? But then all of a sudden I had buddies that were getting off cholesterol meds, like guys that I knew, that I trusted, like people that were real people to me. I had guys that needed to lose 100 pounds and they were losing it faster because they were using Shakeology. Like what took me, it took me 3 months to lose 45 pounds. In those same 3 months, I had guys losing 60, 65 pounds. And I started seeing them get better results, right? Then I put my mom on it. And after 2 months or 3 months, my mom got off her cholesterol meds after being on cholesterol meds for 20 years, right? So then I'm like, screw it, I got to drink this stuff. So I started drinking it. And then I missed like a week of it. And I felt like crap after not drinking it, right? And I was like, man, all right, I'm sold on this. Does that make sense? Understand something. Shakeology is 70% of our network as far as the coaching distribution goes. I want you to understand something. So you have the company is Beachbody, and you have the network, which is coaches. Does that make sense? Okay. The company primarily focuses on fitness videos, right? That's what they're selling on infomercials. That's what they're selling on, Amazon. That's what they're selling in magazines, all that stuff. Does that make sense? So they're creating awareness over here on fitness videos. The network also sells those fitness videos, but where we honestly earn more money is on the nutritional side of things that pay us residually. Does that make sense? People consume it, they buy more of it. People consume it, they buy more of it. All right. The number 1 nutritional product that we have is Shakeology. All right. So if you're going to be a coach and you're going to help people, then you really need to get on board with that product. You need to be using it. You need to be getting it on Home Direct, and you need to be recommending it as part of a challenge pack for people. Which is really the next thing is this: inviting. The second vital behavior is inviting. Okay. Spreading the word, inviting people to join us, putting it out there. Right? I want you to write this down. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And we're not looking for everybody. Okay. Like, we're putting it out there, and some people might get it and some people might not get it. How many of you did not get it the first time? How many of you said no a couple of times before you said yes? Raise your hand. Everybody on this call said yes the very first time. The very first time that you saw Beachbody, you said yes? Okay. No, I didn't. My coach listen, when I first started on my fitness videos, I didn't want to drink recovery drink. I didn't want to eat protein bars. I was like, screw that. I'm not getting that stuff. It took me 4 months of doing the videos before I said yes to that. Then I said yes to that. Then it took me another 4 months to say yes to coaching. You guys see what I'm saying? Then it took me another 4 months to say yes to Shakeology. Okay? So not everybody's going to say yes right up front. So don't get discouraged by that. Right now, your job is to put it out there. Whether that's putting it out there locally to the people you know locally, okay? Or putting it out there through Facebook and through social media. So if you're asking me, what is it that you should be putting out there? If I were you, I would be making sort of an announcement of why you decided to become a coach. You know how you guys shared why you decided to become a coach and it was in the page? I would take that and I would turn that into a post about your decision to become a coach. Does that make sense? Your decision to partner with Beachbody, what Beachbody has done for you. I would start sharing your story and putting it out there to people, okay? And then inviting them to join you as a customer, as a coach, to get started on a program, to whatever that is. You guys understand that? But we get paid to do two things. We get paid to help people get started on programs and products, right? So retailing, and we get paid for team building. Okay? During basics, we're really going to be focused more on the retailing side, all right? So for the first several months, the majority of the money you make is going to come from retail sales and enrolling people and getting them started on programs. Does that make sense? We also have a second 30 days where we focus on team building. And then how you can earn money through team building and all of that stuff, okay? Everybody understand that? But, you know, that I would be putting my story out there. I would also be focused on starting a challenge group, okay? We follow something called the challenge group system, where how many of you started with using a Beachbody product program, you went through a round or 2 or 3 or 4 of it, right? And you started feeling good about yourself, and then decided to become a coach. How many of you followed that path where you use the stuff first? Nobody? Everybody? You can raise your hands. I'm looking for hands. Okay. I'm looking for hands. This is interactive. Even though you're muted, interactive. All right? I'm like, crap, I'm talking to a deaf community. They don't understand. I got to start using sign language or something, man. I see some smiles, so that's good. At least you enjoy my off-the-wall sense of humor, which is fine. So that's really the system that we use, okay, which is this. Let people get started on a program, right? And then over time, learn to upgrade them to coaches when they're ready, when they're starting to get results, when they're starting to feel good about what they're doing, when they're starting to willingly want to recommend it to people because they already love it themselves. Everybody understand that? So that's the challenge group system. If I was you, here's what I would do. I would set a start date for your first group. I would probably start my first group about 3 weeks from now on a Monday, right? So like the 22nd or the 29th of this month, okay? And I would start putting out there that you're going to be starting a group on the 22nd or the 29th, and that you're looking for at least 5 other people who are ready to lose 10 pounds in 21 days or whatever program you're going to use, right? If you're going to use 21 Day Fix or whatever, okay? What you're looking for. We'll help you. We'll give you some examples in the page of what you could put out there, and you could kind of follow that pattern. Does that make sense? Okay? But I'd start putting that out there. And then I'd also, you know, if you don't know what to say to people, say, well, why don't you just check out this webinar that my mentor is doing? He knows a lot more about the stuff than I do. Check that out. If you think it's for you, great. If not, no big deal. Okay. That's the second model behavior, inviting. At the end of the day, it's like this, right? If you're not talking about it, nobody can say yes. Everybody understand that? So we got to be talking about it. If, you know, people aren't just going to say yes because they look at you and through osmosis, they go, I need to do Beachbody, because if they don't know that you're offering something, it's hard for them to say yes to it. So offer them something. Even if it's offering to get them to the webinar, if it's offering to put them in your challenge group. Third vital behavior, number 3, is this, personal development, which is really what you guys are doing right now. Personal development is just learning. Before I was a Beachbody coach, I had never heard the term personal development. I say it like this: personal development is fitness for your insides, right? It's fitness for your mind and your emotions. how you think and how you feel, all right? And what you know, and it's learning skills, and it's developing yourself beyond just physically. So we do the fitness side to develop ourselves physically. The personal development side is developing the rest of us, all right? Sorry about the cough. All right, here's a quick rundown of the rest of the basics, okay? The next thing is this. I'd be looking for this, the 5-step process. We don't have time tonight to train on the 5-step process, okay? But we will next week. Next week's going to be all 5-step process training, which is, hey, I'm in a conversation with somebody. What do I do? What do I say? What do I ask? What do I show them? Does that make sense? Okay? So we're going to cover that next week with you guys. You also want to know the power of 3. There's a document in the basics page called the power of 3. I would print that off. I would have it with you. Okay? It's just, these are like the daily to-do list of here's the things that we could be doing every day. And if we just spend like an hour a day doing these things, we're going to be a lot better off. The other things that you need to know are Emerald and Success Club. Okay? So let me make this really easy for you. Emerald is your first promotion as a coach on the team building side. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let me quickly draw this up, okay? All right, I'm gonna show this to you. I'm drawing something here. Can you guys see this? Okay, this is you. All right, in our business, we have 2 legs, just like a human being. We have a right leg and a left leg, okay? These are people under you, that's it, all right? 1, 2. As soon as you have personally enrolled a coach on your left and on your right, 1 on each side, okay, then you rank advanced to what we call Emerald rank. Emerald is the first level where you can qualify for free customers. So we have a company that spends $150 million a year on advertising that gives free customers to coaches, okay? As long as you're Emerald. Now one of the best things about our company is this, that one of these people can be a spouse or an immediate family member. Does that make sense? Okay? So, and some of you might be asking, now listen, here's what I'm going to break that down for you. If this is something you know you're going to do long term, I would sign up my spouse. You're going to make, like luckily I signed up my wife because we make way more money in her account than what it costs us. Does that make sense? And we can order extra stuff through her, and I get paid, you know, not only do we get the 25% off, but now I get the bonus off of it and all that stuff, right? It's a lot to explain right now. So if you're not sure, right? Like if you're like, I don't know what this is going to do, and I don't know if I'm going to, you know, I'm going to give it my best for like 3 or 6 months and see where I'm at. Okay. Then don't sign up your spouse. I don't want you to invest the money into that. If you're not sure, but if you know, hey man, I'm going to give this my all, I'm in this to win this, then the first thing I would do is sign up my spouse. I have the rest of the month to find one more coach. Then I get to Emerald. Does that make sense? Okay. But if I were you guys, I would be focused on getting to Emerald. No, I mean, honestly, it took me 48 hours. I signed up my spouse, and I already had a buddy that was doing P90X with me, and I signed him up. I'm like, dude, I don't know, just do it with me. I had no idea what I was talking about. I was just like, Cody, dude, you already love this P90X. Why don't you just do this coach thing with me? You know, I need one more. I was like, I need one more person to get promoted. He's like, all right, cool, and he did. Does that make sense? Okay. So I invited him. I didn't have to know everything, okay? But I would be focused on doing that and getting there sometime this month. Because if you're Emerald and you make Success Club, so write this down. Success Club is like our monthly measurement. So I always get this question from new coaches, like, is there a quota? Is there a quota for me, right, that I have to produce something? There is not a quota. You're not going to get fired if you sign up nobody. Does that make sense? Okay? But there is a quota if you want to earn free customers from the company, right? It's like a match program. So, and that quota is what we call Success Club. So you got to be an Emerald coach, and you have to make Success Club to get free customers. Success Club is pretty easy. Every time you enroll a customer or a coach on a challenge pack, right, you're going to get 2 points. As long as you score 5 points in a month, so that's 3 people on a challenge pack this month. Does that make sense? Now, you can also score 1 point if they just get Shakeology Home Direct. For the life of me, I don't know why anybody would get just Shakeology Home Direct, because that's $130, and for $140, they could get a 21-day fix this month with it. 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme are on sale $140 for the combo. Does that make sense? So for the life of me, it's like, well, why don't you just get the $140 challenge pack and get a workout with it? Okay. So, and there's a very good reason why we want people to get a challenge pack. Okay. Here's the thing. We know this. I want you to write this down. Fitness plus nutrition plus support equals success. All right. And so here's what we know. People who just focus on the working out, like they're trying to lose weight, and so they go and they work out, but they don't have any nutritional stuff, right? They don't understand solid nutrition. They're not supplementing healthy, right? And they're not surrounded by other people, oftentimes fail. Okay. People need a combination. They need to focus on the fitness. They need a plan for the fitness more than just like, hey, I'm going to show up to the gym and do some stuff. They need a focused plan. That's how they're going to get the best results. Okay. We can offer that with our programs. The nutritional side of things. Here's the thing, man. It's really easy to screw up even good nutrition in our country, right? Even the crap that we think is healthy isn't freaking healthy. All right. That's where, honestly, the longer I've been around and the more I've been around Shakeology, that's where I truly believe in Shakeology, because it's one thing you can't freaking screw up. Does that make sense? It's the healthiest stuff. It's 70 of the healthiest things grown in the healthiest ways in the healthiest dirt around the world, untouched by anything bad, put into a shake, right? So you can't screw that up. So minimally, we know that our people are at least fueling themselves with really solid nutrition once a day. Does that make sense? Okay. And if they're getting that really solid nutrition, they're gonna crave better food as a result of that in everything else that they eat. So if we could just get them doing that one thing a day, drinking a shake for breakfast every day, they're going to be a lot further ahead than if they try to figure out the nutritional side just on their own. Everybody understand that? So not only that, but we can also offer them, especially with this 21 Day Fix portion control plan, and they can get just the portion control. So if they get a program, they can also get the portion control separate for like $20. Does that make sense? Which teaches people all the portion stuff. But every program comes with a nutritional guide. In fact, I learned more about healthy eating and how to eat from the P90X nutrition guide than anywhere else. That's where I learned how to eat in a healthy way. Does that everybody understand that? So they get that when they get our challenge pack. They're getting the programs, they're getting the nutritional guide, they're getting the Shakeology, which is like like if they go to GNC, you know how many people are going to GNC and ordering and getting crap off the shelves and thinking it's going to change their lives? And I'm telling you, man, half that stuff is just sawdust in a bottle, and that's the truth. They're pulling supplements off of the shelves of like Walmart because it's full of sawdust and it's full of fillers and it's full of crap that isn't even what it says it is. Okay. That's the thing. At least I know, and I fully believe that what they get from us is exactly what we say it is. Like we're not, there's no lie behind it. It is that. All right. And then the third thing is support. That's where we come in as coaches. We are the community of people. You become what you surround yourself with. Okay. How many of you have seen the documentary like on Netflix or rented it called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead? Have any of you watched that? Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead? I would go watch it. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Okay. And in part 1, it's all about like this guy, and he starts juicing and blending and drinking juices for like 90 days or 60 days or 50 days or something like that. And he totally cures himself. Does that make sense? With just eating vegetables and fruits all the time. And he helped another guy, Phil. This guy, Phil, do the same thing. And Phil lost like 140 pounds, right? This is in the first movie. They came back. And in the second movie, the guy who did the documentary kept his weight loss. Phil gained all his weight back. And they were like, what was the one difference? Why did person A, right, maintain their health, maintain their weight loss, and person B, who did the same thing, completely backslide? And it all came down to this. Person A developed a community of people that were also living healthy, that were doing the same things. And he socialized with those people on a consistent daily basis. Person B went back to life as usual and didn't have the community of support, okay? So to me, the most powerful thing that we offer people is us. It's all the faces that you see right here. It's a community of people who are fighting their asses off to live a healthier life, to be a more positive person, right? So if we can surround people with positive, enthusiastic, driven, supportive, encouraging people who are working to be better themselves, then that person has a much greater chance of success. So when they get a challenge pack, they're getting all 3 parts. It's kind of like a master lock. How many of you had a master lock when you were in school, right? And it had 3 digits. And if you only had the first digit, you couldn't get the lock open, and it would get frustrating. And you're like, oh, screw this lock, okay? Well, fitness, nutrition, and support, community, are the 3 digits that people need for long-term success when it comes to living a healthier lifestyle, all right? That's why what we have with Beachbody is so powerful. So when we're out there inviting people, understand that we're not just inviting them. We're not just trying to sell a workout video to them. We're not just trying to sell a shake to them. We're trying to give them a full-term solution. It's up to them if they want it or not, okay? But we're giving them a full solution that includes everything that they need. And there's thousands of people, hundreds of people who have, I did this 8 years ago, and I'm still around. Luckily, I'm still a coach, because I've had my battles when it comes to food, and I've had my battles when it comes to workouts. How many of you have ever felt like that, where you're like, you've been doing great, and all of a sudden, you're not doing so freaking great, right? How many of you have felt like that, where all of a sudden I'm not doing so great, okay? Luckily, I'm a coach. Luckily, I'm around all these people all the time on Facebook, at events, and all that stuff, because they keep me straight. When I'm struggling, they're like, man, just get back after it. They give me that word of encouragement that just keeps me going. Everybody understand that? It'll be the same for you. It'll be the same for the people that you're helping. With that said, that is your introduction to the basics. I apologize. Sometimes I get fired up. I am a high school football coach, so can you guys forgive me for that? Like, I get fired up and I want to headbutt stuff, and it's okay, right? Like, we go do like 5 rounds of insanity in 3 days and go nuts. So here's what I would do if I was you, okay? And any of the leaders on here, if you have like an example of something they could put out for the start of their challenge group or to promote their challenge group, go ahead and post that into the basics page. Can I assign you guys that task to give them a few of your own examples of that, of how we promote? So you've got a lot of people that are on this call right now who are used to promoting a challenge group or used to promoting a webinar. Does that make sense? And so we're going to share some of our ideas with you. You can take them, you can make them your own, you can ask questions about them. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that you guys are here. We've got 3 more calls after this. Next week, we're going to cover this 5-step process, which is just going to be some people skills, okay? So that when you get in a conversation with people, you don't screw it up as much. Does that make sense? Between now and then, do your daily assignments. If you're confused on what to do, just ask, hey, what should I be doing? Okay? Just put it out there, and you'll have a team of people that are willing to help you. So with that said, guys, high fives. That's it. The calls are going to be about 40, 45 minutes every week. I appreciate you being here. Get your daily assignments done. And that's it. I'll see you guys on the page. Peace out.